I got that on the wrong freaking part. I'll have to cut that and paste that to another spot. But we will do that in just a little bit. Welcome, one and all. What is up, earners, learners, and everyone in between grinding for that late night XP? Welcome, one and all. This is to Wednesday, July 2nd, 2025. Our first ever after hours advising episode where we take school, work, and whatever boss fight life is throwing at you. This week, I'm your host, Nate, the Gaming Advisor. Tonight, we're talking about Microsoft dropping off a lot of people, over 9,000 people today at a loss of job. Very unfortunate. We were also going to be talking about some important stuff. Attack on higher education, attack on the freedom of academic expression and separation, of being able to govern themselves versus being told what to do, and taking a look at the labor market, not just the effects of AI on certain industries and certain jobs, but also just the overall effects on the labor economics. So that cannot be more exciting than any of all that stuff. So we're going to kick things off with something that just kind of popped up on the screen right now that was supposed to pop up later. What we're actually going to start off with is a segment called Patch Notes, where we get updates from real world, like it's a broken game launcher. So without further ado, let's go ahead and launch into those first pieces of the patch note. Okay, we'll get that down eventually. Still working on it, all right? I'm a professional, I promise. So yes, welcome one and all. It's been a lot of fun. We are more than halfway through the year now. We are on the tail end spin, and what I've seen today is also very depressing. But we are closer to 2050 than we are to the year 2000. And that is mind-blowing. So try not to think about stuff like that. It definitely makes time seem like it's just like speeding through without any sense. I mean, I know it's never going to stop. I mean, for us individually, but that's not what we're talking about. That's too depressing. But yes, Patch Notes is where we will be visiting latest and greatest. Maybe not the greatest. Man, the greatest is definitely not the best way to kind of enunciate the state of the higher ed world and other things that we're going to be talking about today. It's not pretty serious, but overall we're going to be talking about things that we cover in the brand, right? Staying on brand. So here with the Gaming Advisor, like I mentioned, a certified college career advisor by day, avid gamer streamer by night, over a decade of experience in higher education, and here we are talking about things that I like to talk about. All right, I think these are things that are pretty important. These are things that are people should be talking about, and eventually we'll get to the point where I know what I'm doing with this whole thing up here, and you know, have it all planned out ahead of time, and my script and everything, all that fun stuff. The first story on the docket today, though, is Microsoft laying off over 9,000 employees. I think it says as many. I think it came up to like close to like 9,100. I'm not sure on the specifics, but that is about like 4% of their workforce. Okay, so that is an intense amount of people without a job now. They had one yesterday, and today they don't. That's very unfortunate. But it's one of those things when it comes to the impact of a lot of other things that are going on. And that was kind of the thing that I was seeing, the discourse on the social medias today is just kind of contemplations of why. How did we get to where we are right now, especially with the fact that Microsoft in general is looking like they're pretty successful. It's also kind of getting into it. Microsoft is cutting 9,100 jobs, about 4% of their workforce, heavily impacting Microsoft Gaming, including King, losing about 200 jobs. ZeniMax turned 10. The initiatives closed down and canceling Perfect Dark and Everwild. Everwild was looking pretty cool, y'all, but no more. So it's all that, and when you think about it, that's almost kind of like a football stadium full of people. Just bam, they're gone. So it just even Xbox owned gaming studios take a hit. So it's just very unfortunate that it is what it is right now. This is coming, I believe it's when I was looking at it, like a 4th round of cuts so far this year. I was looking at some of that reporting at Q2. I think they've cut about 15,000 jobs this year alone. And so that is insane. You would think that, oh man, they're cutting all these jobs because they're doing horrible, the sales are down, and all sorts of things are running amok financially, negatively. But that's not exactly what's going on. So that's the weirdest part of it all. Because let me see if it even says right here. No, yeah, it doesn't go too deep into that on this one specifically, but yeah, from what I read, they are on the rise with their profit margins, 15% margins from last year, and I think that's year over year increases. I think the only thing that's really cutting down is the device sales, and so we know console wars, Phil definitely waved the white flag a long time ago, saying we are not going to be number 1. We are probably not even going to be number 2. That is something between Nintendo and PlayStation to fight out. So they kind of took another turn with the stream everywhere, game everywhere, Xbox everywhere. Everything's an Xbox. Moving forward with that mentality. The enhancement of Game Pass. So Phil was saying that these are not the causes of failures currently. These are just the causes of past decisions. But the thing that's crazy is, like, even earlier in the year when, like, the studio that made Hi-Fi Rush, studio made that Indiana Jones game, studios that were pushing out really successful games and then games that people really enjoyed, and they just ended up getting closed anyways. So it's just, that is rough, and it's hard to hear, especially when you also hear on the other end how booming the industry is as a whole. But I think this is also where it plays where corporate greed, corporate capitalism plays a role in all that a little bit. That was a weird, like, hissy sound. What was that? Was that the music? So yes, it's very unfortunate, but it just goes to show that it is, when it comes to laying your eggs all in one basket, that is best not to do that. Or even just focusing on one career path as well, because I think when it comes to, especially like the tech industry, I think it's being mobile, being agile. I think that's the word that they always use. We try to increase the agility of the company whenever they lay off a whole bunch of people. So you as an individual definitely need to be agile with those skills and how they're going to transfer into other positions that could be related to, still be overall related to what you're doing. Your passion for the gaming, wanting to work in the gaming industry, maybe just in different forms, different passions. Always have a backup plan as well when it comes to what's the next step. Because the next step, that next climb up the ladder may not be exactly what you think it's going to be. So always have plan A, plan B, plan C, plan D. But this is again where, as you're maneuvering through your current career, this is where, not necessarily we're always planning an exit strategy, but at the same time we are definitely planning for something that enhancing certain skills that we know that we're weak at, leveraging our current strengths to make impacts that we know are going to look good on the resume. Another thing that you think about when it comes to the gaming, you think about like these huge AAA projects cost a lot of money to run. Those are usually for like the big name brands, though, the big name series. God of War, Grand Theft Auto. I forgot how much money they said they're going to be dropping on that one to make that thing. So when you talk about when these big companies are overly relying on these huge series to pay off, Call of Duty, sort of the big one. So you take the costs that it makes, that it takes to run these huge games, these huge AAA games, and then you combine that with the corporate cost cutting. The idea that, you know, people are numbers. It's not, you know, the biggest person, that the biggest group that the CEOs are working for are the stockholders, shareholders. And everything else is questionable. Is questionable, yeah, when you talk about ethically how you manage it all. So when you add all that together, that does definitely lead to an unstable industry, especially on an industry that did rely a lot upon like freelance work, contract work, not really things that were set in stone for a long time. So you see the instability in the market at the moment. I think it's definitely an employer's market at the moment because, you know, about this time, you know, 3-4 years ago, it was definitely the other way around, where it was just so many job opportunities in comparison to who was actually looking for jobs. So we are in definitely a new era here. But the idea of making yourself agile, one of the things that you definitely want to do is make sure that you are diversifying your portfolio. I'm talking about shareholders. I'm not talking about investment portfolio. We're talking about your project portfolio. What platform are you using for that? GitHub. I'm using WordPress. I haven't. Oh man, I need to be updating more. It's been a while since I've updated it and been posting on the regular. But shout out, that's what we're looking at just right here. We did post not too long ago. We'll bring this up later down the line if I remember to talk about it. Not necessarily what's on that picture, but the overall headlines supporting undocumented students, workers in this era of uncertainty. But yes, utilize your online portfolios, your Linktree, LinkedIn. How are you going to stand out of the crowd as you are networking and whatnot? But always keep those things updated. Even your resume, those are things that you should be updating every couple of months as you learn new things, accomplish new accomplishments. I was trying to think of another way. So as you're progressing in your career, you're making updates as you go versus, you know, dang, I've been at this place for X amount of years and I just got laid off. Now I got to figure something out. Dang, what I've been doing this whole time. Because especially when things become habit over time, it becomes second nature and you don't even think it, you don't even realize that you're doing awesome things. So all that to say, be careful. Because I know sometimes, like I work with students that they have dream companies that they want to work for. I want to work for X company or Y company. I just want to work at that spot specifically, and for whatever reason that they have. But in this space right here, especially in the tech industry, you don't want to put resting your faith all in one company. It's like putting all of your coins in one loot box. And then somebody just hits cancel. So just make sure as you're dropping things into your loot box, which is your tool chest, your repository of skills, as you're putting things in there, you are also saving it on your resume, you're saving it on your online portfolio, you're getting ready for that next step, because you just never know when that could happen in whatever industry, in whatever job title, whatever field you're in. So that is very sad. Hearts go out to those who have lost their jobs on that. That is not a good thing ever. And poo-poo on the people that are touting about, like, oh, look at this, and this is what they get, and blah, 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 blah. Microsoft's gonna learn, you go woke, you go broke, and all these other sorts of things, and just like, shut up. Like, these people have lost their jobs, they have nothing to do. So yeah, it's just, people always tend to throw like politics and the console wars and all these negative emotions, especially online. So I just, online doesn't really, oh no, especially Twitter. Yeah, especially Twitter. It does not feel like a real place sometimes. And I think about myself, maybe it isn't. A lot of those angry, loud comments, who knows how many of those are people versus bots. And so yes, definitely keep things on the up and up with that. Next story on the patch notes. Another pretty rough one, y'all, because it's just, you know what, now that I'm thinking about it, next time I will definitely look for things that are a little bit more on the lighter side with these patch notes, because these patch notes, but the thing about it is, it's just like, these are things that are really important. Maybe not this thing in particular, but the implications of what it means. You know, and the precedent that it is setting, the interactions between this administration and leaders of higher education. So last week, the University of Virginia president was stepping down after reportedly being pushed out by politically connected donors. Because you know what, nothing says academic freedom like losing your job because someone at a cocktail party did not like what you tweeted, or they did not like what's going on your campus. So it's just when, especially when the donors are involved, that's when you know you got to make some moves. So the Chronicle reported last month actually, or in May, because last month that was. So the Chronicle reported in May that the Justice Department's interest in the university stemmed from a web of connections among government lawyers, Republican appointees, the university's board, and a conservative alumni group opposed to Ryan's leadership, including his support for intentional efforts to increase racial diversity on the campus, because nothing's super inadequate like racial diversity and diversity of thought. But I've seen it on the opposite end, where certain viewpoints can get you pretty much, I wouldn't necessarily say shunned, but it's just like they're not conducive to a productive learning environment. And those viewpoints tend to lean on the conservative side, not gonna lie. Certain things are opinions, and arguments can be had in professional manner. But certain opinions that involve not recognizing people as humans, or other sorts of human rights, or bigotry, racism, all those sorts of things are not acceptable. Like, and that's just something that needs to be on the up and up, just like not okay. But the weird thing is, that is not okay. I definitely feel like it's not okay also to single out any particular viewpoint, as long as it's not aligned with those, bigotry, racism, sexism, all the isms, all the negative things like that. The statement to the Chronicle, Ann Brown, a co-chair of the advisory council for Wahoo's for UVA, an alumni advocacy group that supports Ryan, called the coerced resignation an assault on the very principles of academic freedom, institutional autonomy, and democratic governance. So it's rough. This is rough, y'all, because this is showcasing that higher education is just not neutral playing ground anymore. Politics. I know politics has always necessarily been discussed. I remember when I was going to college, I was taking my intro to not intro, is it? Because you take the state government and you take the federal government. So I was taking the federal government course, but that just so happened to be the year that Barack Obama was elected president, and you could definitely tell in the class he was happy about that, he was not happy with that. And you can definitely tell that the professor was one of the ones that was very happy about it. And the thing about college is it exposed to another side of history, but at the same time, on the other side, if they can mention that, like, oh, they're radicalizing students and blah, 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 but it's just like, you have to hear multiple viewpoints, and so I think when you overly commit to one side or the other, that's just not okay. And so there has to be the middle ground, but at the same time, in that middle ground cannot live things like I mentioned, racism, sexism, bigotry. Those are viewpoints that need to be eliminated and removed from professional settings, educational settings. But ultimately, it's not necessarily morality that wins out in these types of situations. It's usually money. What kind of money is at stake? Who's at risk of losing what type of money? What type of impact is it going to make? Not just on the institution, but the students, the community. So money and politics are increasingly dictating leadership decisions, and it has been like that for a while, especially here in Texas. Got to be careful, one way or the other. You don't want to be singled out by the governor or anything like that, or any of the legislation, or any of the any elected officials, or it's just in certain areas it's okay, where there's more leniency and not necessarily leniency, but just a little bit more open viewpoints and things like that. Those are the places usually with the universities and colleges in the town, unless it's the only college in town. And there's no other colleges for miles, or any other city for miles. Those are the places that can be a little sketchy, not necessarily negative, it's just unfamiliar. I have definitely driven through those small Texas towns and gotten some weird looks in my lifetime. So it's just I'm surprised that I had a Texas ID. And so yes, those types of things still exist, and this guy was trying to be an agent of change in Virginia, which is still a pretty liberal, I think that the governor's Democratic, so it's an overall liberal state. But even there, like, that's where, because ultimately they got the whistle blown on them because they were seemingly having DEI programming, even though that they had voted to stop it all. But somebody was saying, like, no, they didn't necessarily stop it, they just renamed it something different. They're still doing it, and we don't like it. So yes, that has been a tactic for a lot of the programs that were forced to shutter their doors and release their staff. Some just did with a name change and reprioritize their strategy. Yeah. Re-strategized their approach to how they do their work. Because I was at a conference and what somebody said, it was pretty profound, but it made complete sense. It's just at the end of the day, you can make all the laws that you want, but you can't change the demographics of the students that we work with, that live in our community, that go to our institutions. You can't change that. It's just, it is what it is, and if you try to make it go back to the way it was, it's just, that didn't work out very well. Where whole groups of people had to make special schools just for themselves, because they weren't allowed in the regular schools. So yeah, we don't want that. We don't want to go back to that. Another thing that is very nerve-wracking about this is just the attack of academic freedom. You know, what type of message does this send to not just the students at this university, but all universities across America, especially the leaders across those spaces, like what type of message is this sending that if you don't bend to their will, then your job is at stake. I think that's the message that's trying to get across, and that's scary. Doesn't matter who's in office. That is not okay for an administration to be able to just force their way around and getting people to resign because they don't agree with their politics and their policies. And honestly, too, this kind of just, if I was a student there, this would make, because you even hear, like, what is it, the student council? The executive board of UVA University Student Council said in a statement that it was heartbroken, shocked, and frustrated by Ryan's resignation. The important right of a public institution to govern itself has been stripped and commandeered by federal forces, the board wrote. And the loss of President Ryan is the latest domino to fall. And so the students even know, like, they're all just pawns in the game. What kind of trust does that put in the system that the administration wants them to care so much about in a positive light, when it shows itself to be negative time and time again? It's not a movie where the good guy wins at the end of every episode. This is the real world, and people with the most money end up winning, it seems like. And so it's just, that's the kind of message that's coming across to students in this situation. But on the opposite end, you can also imagine the commitment, because, man, these people really believe that by getting rid of DEI, they're making things more equitable. And it's just like, I don't think they realize what DEI is. I don't think they recognize that the E is the equity, and ultimately you can kind of, what did somebody say? I heard another administrator mention fear of the browning of America. And so it's just one of those things where you can kind of see it. It could feel like that's the main intention, even though that is not. But it definitely feels like that. Because all these DEI programs, their main intention isn't to shun particular groups. It's to uplift the ones that have been underserved and underrepresented for a very, 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 very long time. And so it's usually the groups, the people that are not in those underrepresented groups that are saying that this is not fair. When you flip it, let's go back to a merit-based reality, and it's just like there was never really one. So that's just the hard part where, man, I don't want to lose my voice already. We just started. But yeah, it's just the hard reality of it all. So one of the biggest takeaways of this is that no university is invincible. No institution itself is invincible. I know Harvard is also going to battle with the administration at the moment right now. And you would think with all the money and all the lawyers and all the top big wigs in these spaces that, man, you would get some sort of, like, you would feel like they're untouchable. Which, again, like I said, in those situations where things are too lopsided one way or the other, that is never good. And so it's always good to keep power in check, but at the same time, not like this. Not like this. And so, last patch note on the docket. When labor meets AI, the next frontier in workforce economics. The Forbes article says that AI is the next frontier in workforce economics. No, I'm not saying I've never put on my resume now includes not a robot under the special skills, and so just to make sure that they realize that there's me, a person, doing this. So AI is not nearly so I'm just going to read some passages from the passages. I'm just going to read some excerpts from the article. So AI is not merely optimizing tasks, it's absorbing entire functions, from logistics to legal review, customer service to manufacturing. AI systems are increasingly performing duties once reserved for human workers, often at higher speeds and lower costs. That's the biggest piece right there, because like I said, when you just bring down that corporate cost saving mentality where everybody's expendable and you save the bottom dollar, and what's the cheapest way that we can get the most efficient work done. So when corporate decision makers feel like AI is the replacement for a lot of things, that was one of the accusations, that overly reliance on AI has caused Microsoft to have to lay off all those people. But there's other things at play as well. And so again, when you talk about the corporate cost savings, there was one thing that I ended up seeing that I forgot to mention during our first story about the Microsoft layoffs. And so like I mentioned, Microsoft has laid about 15,000 employees off at this point. But they have filed for H1B. Is that the visa? H1B visa? So they've applied for those many types of visas, almost like, I think, a little over 14,100. So not completely 15,000. They didn't completely replace one for one, but it looks like they are trying to replace the American workers with workers overseas that would cost less on their end. And so yes, that's not cool. Replacing them. But this is even worse, where it's like replacing people with not other people, but with robots and machine learning and those types of things. And so that can be rough. Now, for unions, this evolution raises urgent questions. The traditional tools of organized labor, which would be strikes, contract negotiations, grievance processes, these were designed for human-centered workplaces. But as algorithms replace decision makers and predictive models supplant manual oversight, those tools are being tested. What does collective bargaining look like in a workplace run by artificial agents? How do you negotiate with a system that cannot respond to protests? I would imagine if it was an AI, like being the thought maker, the decision maker, it would make like a logical decision. It always gets me, like in all these like AI overlord things, like where AI is built to protect humanity, and AI always boils down to like humans can't be trusted, so they must be controlled, and it's just like, oh my god. I imagine that's what would happen with the strikes if an AI system was running and the strike took off. And so that is something to consider. Sectors including logistics, transportation, customer service, administrative support, and even healthcare are likely to become more vulnerable to automation-driven role reductions. In these fields, labor organizations might consider, again from the article, Forbes is saying that negotiated workforce transitions guarantee job protection during technological rollouts. So I think there was an automotive company in Germany. I forgot the overall details of it, but as they were rolling out new technology, that seemed it was going to be automating certain positions. There were guarantees put in place to say, okay, well, as we're going through this process, your job is going to be safe up until this point. And at that point, maybe you can learn how to work these robots that work these things. So yeah, mandatory reskilling and redeployment of programs funded jointly by employers and public sources. And we see a little bit of that going on, especially when you talk about just like different apprenticeship programs, different in-house training programs, AI audit provisions. They're just kind of keeping tabs, being transparent. I think that's the biggest thing. Nobody wants the rug pulled out from under them. Transparency in how automated systems impact hiring, promotions, and termination. So being very transparent with that process, and so workers are understanding their rights and whatnot. Profit sharing clauses allowing workers to benefit from productivity gains realized through AI integration. So if they're going to be cutting these costs, there's still other labor that's going to have to be done by the people. And so it's just when they're saving this money by cutting all these other people for these AI systems, people that are left should be able to financially benefit from the productivity gains. That would be cool. So one thing to notice that mentioned in this article is that AI isn't just replacing jobs, it's reshaping how industries define value and labor entirely. So especially when it comes to like union industries that have union workers and union representatives and more rights for their workers. It does complicate things when you start incorporating these AI systems into the workforce. I think the thing to keep in mind is that artificial intelligence people can program emotions for something to understand what emotions are, and possibly to even program them to be like, okay, if this happens, then I'm programming you to feel sad. This is what it means to be sad. And like teaching a robot that, or like programming a robot that way. But just the overall idea of emotional intelligence, communication, collaboration, adaptability, skills that humans can bring to the table that AI just cannot do. That creativity, without it coming out like nightmare fuel sometimes. As you see with the AI systems. So if you were utilizing AI, there are ethical ways to utilize it. But also think about how you're marketing yourself and how you're future-proofing yourself. What type of skills do you have to bring to the table? Is it something that could be automated? Is it something that could be replaced with an automated system or device or robot or what have you? So think of those skills that you have that robots just cannot replicate. Make sure you're highlighting those on your resume. Your critical thinking skill. Well, man, computers can do really good critical thinking. So maybe more human-like things. What are things that humans do? Yes, the emotional intelligence and all that other fun stuff I was just talking about. So that is what's happening out there, y'all. So now we're going to break it down and talk about what's happening up in here. It's supposed to go in the other. we'll just get rid of that. Ooh, sorry, I had some technical difficulty going here. We are back in it. Alright, so if you are just tuning in or just forgot how you got here, my name's Nate, I'm gaming advisor, certified college career advisor by day, avid gaming streamer by night. This is your late night checkpoint, late night check-in. Each week we hang out, break down news, education, workforce development, gaming, esports. We talk about how to level up no matter where you're starting from. If you have any questions, you can ask them live in the chat. If you're listening to this afterwards, make sure you are jumping into the Discord or finding me in the subreddit that we got, Academy of Gamers. Ask questions in those spaces and I will bring them to the table here live and answer them for you. If you want to support the mission, you can follow, like, subscribe, drop an exclamation point tip in the chat. You can see my tip donation link. I'll keep this stream, Discord, and free resources going strong. Thank you. So yes, a lot of the resources that I throw out there, exclamation point socials, you'll see them in the link tree. A lot of those resources, pretty much all the resources that I've been building are all for free. I either have free appointment resources, now that we've logged in our weekly patch notes, let's get down into the main quest. So the main topic that we're here to talk about today is your mid-year respawn. And what I mean by that is I'm not talking about the chair that I'm sitting in, not my awesome, most comfortable chair. We are talking about your goals. 6 months ago, you set those New Year's resolutions. Where are they? How did you progress with those? Do you even still remember what they were? Did you even make some to begin with? So, main thing to keep in mind is do not worry. We are not behind. This is our mid-year checkpoint. This is our chance to re-strategize while still having the rest of the year to look forward to. And so the first thing that we're going to be doing is recalibrating. So we'll find those goals. And I think for myself, I'd actually... So I think I feel like I... No, not that one. I'll find it later. But yeah, I had started working on what my goals would be earlier this year, and I can promise you that I had not been following along. I am nowhere near the productivity level that I set for myself. So now's the time to recalibrate. So we're going to do this. Let me use myself as an example. And I'm going to show you how we use ChatGPT for this. Let's go back over to the watching scene. I'm trying to think of what I can be setting out goals for. You know what? Let me ask it. Trying to come up with an example goal. That we can run for the X model to set. Oh, you know what? Let's get specific. Twitch stat tracker. I haven't looked at my numbers in a long time. And I would imagine they're very low at this point just because I have been very inconsistent. Okay. Averaging 7 viewers? What the hell? Where are they? And so, here's a little bit more specific info. There is I should have looked this up earlier. Okay, it was this one. Because yeah, I started working with this. Here we go. Took me a little while to find it, but here we are. And so this, before you get to this point, you got to prep ChatGPT to know about you. And really, honestly, everything that you wanted to know about you, I wouldn't put too much. But I put, based on everything you know about me as the gaming advisor, what are some wildly important goals that I should consider focusing on? And so with the 40X model, those wildly important goals, or those overall goals that we're talking about, and it popped up someone's, and I ended up choosing goal number 3, which was reach 250 active members in the Academy of Protected Gamers Discord by a certain date. And so that was the goal that I set for myself earlier this year. And like I said, I promise you, I have not got anywhere near that. I don't think I've gotten any like extra person into my Discord ever since. Which, by the way, !Discord. So it started to help me build out what that wig statement would be. But I wanted to make sure before I started to focus on this goal, what are some blind spots that I might have surrounding this wig? how can I turn them into actionable lags and leads? And so with the 4DX model, the lags and the leads kind of drive you to that ultimate important goal, that wildly important goal. So it gave me some blind spots to check out, so I made sure that I was notating those and building those into my overall plan. So once we identified and this is where I started to jump into, because I was just like, man, I'm at like 11 people. So I don't know if I can really get 250 by the beginning of next year. So I set my goal at 100 to go from 11 to 100 by January 1st, 2026. So my wig statement was grow the Academy of Productive Gamers Discord from 11 to 100 active engaged members by January 1st, 2026. And so the statement is usually grow from X to Y by Z. The whispers in my ear. And so it gave me some ideas of what lag metrics to track. So the lag is the overall number that we're going to be pushing towards. And the leads are going to be the things that are going to be pushing the lags. And so we're going to try to get to 100 Discord members. And so the lead, these would be things, leads are things that you do on a weekly basis. You don't want to set too many leads, because then that takes a lot. Because for every lead that you have, you're going to have to be tracking that on a weekly basis. So you can have a lot of lead measures, but that just means a lot of tracking. So for getting people into the Discord, one of the lead measures could have been personal invites that I sent. Set a target goal of 5 to 10 each week. And that's the same kind of concept for each of these measures. And ultimately, you're choosing things that you feel are going to be the things that are part of your normal repertoire of what you have control of. These are the biggest things too. With these measures and your goals, you want to have it to where you have control over those things. So this one may not be the most precise goal to utilize, because ultimately we can't force people to come into the Discord, but we can control how many invites we send out each week. We can control how many events we host in the server and promote those. Other spaces, engagement posts. So things that we could be doing on a weekly basis. It's going to drive that long-term number. Build myself a timeline, build myself a scoreboard, and we were good to go. And I was even working on some strategies. I am picking this goal. No progress, unfortunately. How do I re-strategize? So sometimes this is really nice. ChatGPT could be really nice. Thank you, ChatGPT. So we did have some momentum when we were going in with the Respawn Recruits Challenge. That died out real, like my motivation to make content kind of died out. Not that it died out, it's just I'm tired. And so in those late nights when I was making the videos, because I knew I had people expecting me to be posting videos, and I don't have that expectation, so it wasn't really, so the motivation got me. No, overall, it's time to reframe. Still got the same goal, but now instead of January, because that feels like it's a tight window coming up, pushed it out to March. We'll reset our scoreboard. Start from scratch. Well, not start from scratch. Starting from experience. And so for me, one of the things that I really got to review for myself so here I'm gonna have to revisit this, y'all, because this is a good overview of what I need to be doing as I'm getting ready to get back into this, be more consistent with it. But as I'm getting ready to get more consistent with it, one of the things that you just got to do as you're trying to reframe and repurpose those goals, recenter those goals, you got to re-equip your toolbox. Drop dead weight habits, upgrade your systems. So when we're talking about dropping dead weight habits, for me, that would definitely be things like late night gaming, when I have not made content in a long time. Before I start doom scrolling, maybe I do a content post. So my biggest thing is just not necessarily procrastinate. I think it's just, a lot in my day-to-day has been draining me lately. Over the summer, 10-hour work days, which it sounds nice having Fridays off, but man, coming home at 7 o'clock, and it's not like a physically demanding job, it's more like a mentally demanding job. And so I just want to come home, I just want to relax, but by that time it's already like 7:30, and eat dinner, chill for maybe an hour, and it's time to go to sleep and do it all over again. And so I think just the summer cycle is not conducive to my content creation and streaming habits. We'll figure that out over time. So, but ultimately, I know time management is my biggest challenge right now, because whenever I get free time, I just want to chill. I just want to relax. But on the opposite end of that, I grew up with this mentality that you just always have to be productive. And so that's nerve-wracking over time. That is definitely nerve-wracking over time. The constant need to always feel productive. The sense of guilt if I'm just chilling and not doing something. So find a balance, because I think I was growing up with that mentality for so long that by the time I had a chance to do the opposite of that, I just went full opposite. In some days. To where it's just like, hey, you know what, the work was work, now it's time to chill. And it was kind of feeling like making the content was work. So I need to get back into what made it fun. When I first started doing all this, what made it all fun? And I think it was just the idea of creating something and sharing it. Because I'm not very good at, I would say, anyway, it just depends on my mood for the day and how tired I am. My communication skills, when it comes to that, I am definitely better at writing than I am speaking. And I am better at telling stories through other means, like through my videos and through my art, through my videos and my content. And it's easier for me to communicate that way than it is to just have a face-to-face conversation sometimes, depending on the topic, like I mentioned. So ultimately, you just got to understand what are our unhealthy habits and what are things that are holding us back from being as productive as we can be, being as restful and healthy as we can be. So that's another big piece too. It's just we got to take care of ourselves. If we want to go above and beyond in other spaces, we definitely got to take care of ourselves mentally, physically. So that's another thing that I've been slacking on. So it's just refocus your goals, set new timelines, re-strategize on things that are working, things that aren't working, cut out the things that are not working, and then from there, we re-enter the process, which is what I'm getting ready to do. Let's see. So we've been talking for about an hour now, and I think we're going to go ahead and transition on to the next portion of the stream where we get to finally play some video games, yo. Let's do that. That's always fun. The video game that I've been stuck on lately, which we will be playing today, is going to be a video game called A Rematch. That game has definitely been a lot of fun. Somewhat rage-inducing, somewhat. I feel like most games, once I get to a certain level, they're all like that. Like I said, we're going to get ready to jump into this one. What games have y'all been out there playing? What games are you into right now? Something stuck in your rotation? This one, and I also saw, like if you didn't see it, I also had like a little bit of an itch for those survival games. There's like, well, not full-on survival, like what was the Ark Survival, Ark Ascended, and then Power World. That was a lot of fun too, so I was playing a lot of that. I like how quickly you can jump into games in this one. I think the longest I've ever had to wait is like 2 minutes. Ooh, I got slipped. And keep the spacing, follow my flows. Ooh, they whiffed on that one big time. Like this way. Ooh, got quick. You going to? Ah, you got it. Ooh, we blocked it. Good block. Get him! Don't kick it straight at him. Ooh, all the way down. I hate that strategy where they just wait all the way back there by themselves. No way. Oh man, we got a good block. We got a good goalie. That's the hard part, is like by the time I turn around, like the dude's on me. Or the person was not aiming where they thought they were aiming. Ooh, tripped him up. Pick that up. I ran over here too fast. Yeah. What happened there? Okay, so sometimes it's just best to kind of like let your stamina get back up every now and then. Space ourselves. We were kind of past with that. Ugh. Gotta look out for those ricochets. I think sometimes you think you could take it farther than what you actually can. What a great goalie that we have. Rip him up. Give it right back to him. We're doing that. Ooh. Get myself tired. Everybody just keeps on overshooting their pass. That's what you want to try to get, that bounce. The rebound. Oops. There I am with the overshooting of the pass. See, one more pass could have done it. I was ready right there. Oh. Get it! Get it, Professor Loser! Oh, we kind of like bouncing to him. Come on, y'all. Gotta be a bit more accurate than this. I meant to pass it. Well, there you have it, y'all. That was our gaming for the night. No. Keep trying these. Eventually, we will win. It will be glorious. Driven into another match. My home and away colors are inspired by the same tennis place. I think after this one we'll do a ranked one just to kind of get into the flow of higher skilled game players, hopefully. Oh, my fault. That was dumb. Yeah, I'm still trying to figure it out myself as well. Ooh. How did that go over you? That's craziness. That's cool hairstyle, man. Oh, he's right there. Close enough. Who are you passing it to? Go, go. They keep messing around with that, they're gonna drop it. Pick it up. Oh. 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 It's a rough stuff, y'all. Some games start off pretty well, and it's a close match all the way through. This one might not do that. Looks like, is this person going to do something?
Was a decade of great technological change. Television viewing became common in third world countries. The development of the modern internet began with the ARPANET. Arcade games became a major industry. VHS won out over Betamax. Sorry, Betamax.
Who are you passing it to? I'm getting lost. Where the ball is. Alright, one more goal. Then we will get mercy ruled and we can finish this stupid game. I'll show you how real goaltenders do it.
Experienced exponential growth.
All right, let's go.
Boxes and
I won't play with these people no more.
Transformed music culture. Synth pop and new wave were developed by many British and American artists, becoming a decade-long phenomenon. us not forget epic synthesizers.
We'll try it again. Hopefully with better results. I think we're 0-2 for tonight so far, but it's all good. Get it out of here. Right in his face. At least kind of shoot it above his head or something. Come back this way. Oh, how the hell did that?
Let us not forget what the 80s were. Let us not forget to keep the spirit alive.
Ooh, that was a good move, though.
The 80s alive. To keep us alive.
Man. Guess that. Right around there. So trying to clear some space for this guy. How could I not pick that? Why is the goalie so far up? Ooh, it's not looking like a good night for the games, y'all. Oh, great. Punch that out of there. Get the hell out of here. All right, here we go again. Don't bite on those. Go get it. Clear it. Get it out of here. The dude just missed it. I was like, whoops. Going from left to right is a lot visually easier on my face versus trying to go from right to left. You're just always on the defensive over here. There you go. Put a little pressure on him. Off the wall. Not a straight shot. Ooh. There you go, keep it on their side. Keep the pressure on them. Come on. Hey, there you go. Good job. All right, do it. Boop. If he would have just stood still, he would have caught it. Guy, you had it. There's no time to be fancy right now, man. Just get the shot up, get the pass out. Dang. Trying to move on to that next division. You're hard stuck. Goal 3. Maybe that's where we just need to be, though. I think I did pretty good, though. I represented in the goalie box. Goalie box, man, is no joke, especially when they're just like constantly on it. I think the main thing that I need to get down with this game is just being able to turn quickly and aim and shoot, going from like watching for a pass and then all of a sudden being able to shoot it. That was rough. Nope. You got it. Now they're on the way. Here it comes. Good ball, good ball. So when they're shooting, they can either come straight ahead, right, or left. It's always hard when it comes straight away to just stand still. I was like, just get him out of here. Let's see you go. I'll stay back. Clear it. Okay, there you go. Keep it on that side. Damn it. See, in those instances where I know it's going to bounce over my head, I need to find that little triangle thing. I was right there in his face, but I was just a little bit too late. Oh, come on. How come it works for them? Keep track of where the ball is sometimes. You just gotta be a presence in the space. Presence in the box, break that shit up. Nobody knows. Hold on to it, Cheddar. Is that even a real person? That went like right above them. Yeah, it's just not the night tonight, y'all. I don't know what to tell you. I'm gonna have to swap games. Good theme. Yeah, I don't know what people trying to get a little. Oh, come on. I kind of hit by that thing. This one's done, so there's no way we're gonna get, yeah. Gotta get one win. Gotta get at least one for the night. Come on. Tired of losing ranks though, so I'm just gonna maybe go down to 4v4. See, this is the part where it's just like, it is not easy. If I could shoot with the left trigger, that would make things so much easier.
I require the solace of the shadows and the dark of the night.
It could be that easy.
Sunshine is my destroyer.
Just that easy. Bloop.
There shall never be another dawn.
Nice and easy. Ooh, juke him. Pow. Long field pass. Oh, wow, that was a good block. Look at that. The hard part at that point is to kind of make the split decision. Do I jump forward and grab it and get it out of the way? Or do I try to make a play on their shot? No, I tried to move forward and it was already too late.
You must find them for me and destroy them.
Come on. Ooh, I'm getting tired. I'm tired just watching this dude. Damn it. Oh, that's actually that guy. Set it up perfectly. Intercept. Come on, I didn't grab anything. come on! I didn't grab it. It was right in their face. It's all my fault. Like right there. That didn't do anything at all. How are they always so far back? See if we can make something happen here on this one. Who are you passing it to? Ooh, he really almost got that. We don't need to stay for a whole nother loss. Who's father? Gotta win one match tonight. At least one. This is crazy. I have not been on a losing streak ever like this on this game. I don't know what it is when I stream. I guess it's just the additional mental capacity that it takes to talk as I'm doing it at the same time. Something, I don't know. I am at a loss from all this losing. Oh. Oh. Thank you. I thought they were going to kick it this way. I was a little off guard at that point. This guy's like, I'm going to line this up. And then boof. That was some fancy moves and some nice passing. Ugh. I thought it was gonna hit the top. I didn't move. I'm an idiot. Don't just take a straight shot at it. Like, what are you doing? ridiculous. I don't know what the hell. I got some sort of bad juju on me tonight. Somebody's jinxing me. Like crazy. I won't. I said. Where are we all condensed on that side right there? Don't press it where I am. I'm really gonna switch games, yo. This is ridiculous, yo. I don't understand why we're losing so bad in every freaking game that we play. I just want to take the ball and shoot it into our own goal. That was the spot. Just let us lose. And my shots too are just like super weak. Get away from me! God damn, man. We have not won a single match all night. Go that way. Are we all set? Let it finish. Thank you. This is the worst losing streak I've ever had in this game ever since I started playing it. This is crazy. Do a hard restart or something. That thing, because it is just like. I would go take the ball if I could. I just can't. Trying this again. I don't know why, but we will. That's one of these. I wish I could shut that up. Maybe it's the music.
I've got it.
Whoop.
To me.
I was like, one of y'all pick it up. This fancy footwear guy. Ooh. Oh. Where's all the nice, good jobs? Like, that's so stupid that they only use them when bad things happen. Past that.
My bad.
Just to be quick. I was trying to pass it to you.
My fault.
Who are you giving it to? I didn't want to do that. Take your time. There you go. Look at that. That goalie was just bouncing all over the place.
Mate, sorry. Thanks.
I don't understand how I didn't touch that. What are you all the way the hell up there for?
Thanks, mate.
How do I shut that up? Oh my god, I was gonna shut that up. Oh, yeah, speed parts. Everybody's trying to get all fancy. Just pass that shit. Bounce that shit. No, it's over. I'm gonna D rank. This has been the worst gaming night of my life. No. I can't believe how crazy, like, horrible this is. Oh my god.
To me. Here.
Fucking do. Why can't I get the fucking people that know what the hell they're doing?
My bad. My fault. Sorry.
Good job.
My bad.
Bitch, he's right there on your fucking face. Where you called for it and then you fucking turned away, you stupid bitch. Like, this dude flopped completely the opposite way.
Square it. Here.
What are you doing?
Good job.
Good, good.
Well done.
Made up for it.
I got it.
How do you just fucking keep walking without the ball? Might as well just stay back here. I feel like everywhere I try to run, I just have to go backwards the other way. Don't just take a straight shot. Yeah, I don't understand. I got blasted so hard for doing that, like in the unranked mode.
Good job. Thanks, mate.
That's teamwork.
Thanks.
Okay, that was a weird ass replay. I almost had something going there. God damn.
Mine. What's it? Pass.
What? You got people on the right and the left. You started straight at him.
My bad. Stay sharp.
Spacing, spacing. I was like, motherfucker, if that goes in. Oh my god, we finally won a damn game. God bless America. I didn't D rank into the silver ranks. Defense. Okay, good. Is this the one? Is this the game that I have teammates that know what the hell they're doing? Because I don't know what I'm no.
To me.
Ooh, nice steal, nice steal. I could have done that better. I didn't really realize where my teammates were. Whoa, what was that little laggy thing? Come on. Guy. See, I complain about everybody doing it and I do it myself. Fudge. So this is not the team that knows what they're doing.
My fault. Stay sharp.
Where the hell is the ball? God damn it. I couldn't see. I need the controller. I need to, this can't take so fucking long to turn around like that. That was rough because like I just could not find the ball, and by the time I found the ball they were all on me. Not good. That feels good. Does not feel good.
Swear it.
Well, do something with it if you're gonna square it.
To me. Switch side.
Oh.
My bad. We got this. To me. Pass.
I was just trying to give it right back to them or something.
Swear it. To me.
I don't know what to tell you. With this game and this night of gaming, it's not going according to plan. Hoping to get a little bit more wins. I think we've gotten one the whole night. But overall, I think we did a good did some good talking points. So it looks like some Halo Studios staff got affected. Oh, I'm not even watching that. Oh, good. Y'all missed all my shitty gameplay.
Keep it.
To me.
Just when I think we're about to push it forward. God, give me. That's how you do it. That's some good passing right there.
Well played.
Oop. Oop.
Switch.
Sometimes it's weird because it feels like that when you're close enough, it should pick it up. Who are you giving it to? I feel like I'm just walking back and forth and back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. Fucking pass it, man. Quit being all fucking fancy with it. What am I doing? I was like, what happened? There's no strategy to any of this kicking or hitting or anything. There's just kicking back and forth and back and forth. This fucking goalie, take your fucking time and hit it to where there's nobody else. God damn it. I think we're done for the night. Normally I'll go till 12, but it is just not. It is not happening for tonight. So I will be back at it again next time. We'll be back at it every Wednesday, 9 p.m. Central Daylight Time, typically till 12 a.m. Next time we'll come at it with better games and better topics and all around better. Until next time, stay productive, gamers.